the conference on air quality improvements and urban transport in Hanoi, Vietnam. The event will describe the network of monitoring stations used in Hanoi, assess the present situation of air quality in Hanoi, describe the future metro network and its expected impact on road traffic, introduce modeling forecast air quality systems, such as those installed in most major cities all over the world. First of all, really want to say welcome to Hanoi, welcome to Vietnam this time. And please allow me to call you Lawrence. Have you ever been to Vietnam so far, or is this your first time in Hanoi?
No, it's the first time. It's the first time I come into Vietnam, and it's pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here to participate and to co-organize this symposium dedicated to air quality improvement and to the assessment of the link of air quality with transport traffic issues.
We see that Vietnam is a country needs some more improvements in transportation. It can improve more public transportation in the city. So this time coming here, how do you feel about the air quality in the transport in Hanoi?
I understand your concern about air quality and air pollution, because yes, the traffic is heavy, lot of vehicles. As said during the symposium, those vehicles are polluting vehicles. There are some other sources that participate to a quite high level of air pollution and pollutant concentrations, if I have correctly understood. And this is something that we can feel coming here from European cities. My feeling is also that there are many opportunities to improve the situation. The first one is to raise awareness of the general public and of the decision makers, of course. The ministry in charge of environment is really concerned about these issues of air quality, and so my feeling is that is a positive feeling that you are on the right way, but a lot remains to be done in terms of monitoring, maybe modeling, forecasting episode, and improving communication to the public, increasing awareness, especially to sensitive population. There are people who are very sensitive to air pollution because of asthma, and I don't know. It's very important to increase their awareness to air pollution.
I know that this time you come to Hanoi to join the conference on air quality improvement and urban transport, which was held by the Embassy of France to Vietnam. So what's your expectation for this visit?
In fact, I really hope that it will be the first step for developing collaboration with Vietnam in terms of air quality assessment systems, and for improving, for helping in the improvement of the air pollution situation. I really hope that it will be the first step and that we'll be able to develop such collaborations, because okay, you have started to do a lot with monitoring network, but maybe sharing our experience and our views, the system could be improved, and I hope that we'll manage to go a step forward.
Yes, Vietnam really needs some more improvement in the control and reduce the air pollution. And so I know that this time you come from INERIS institution. So can you explain more about INERIS?
INERIS is a national institute. This is a French institute in charge of environmental issues and chemical risk assessment. My institute works for the Ministry of Ecology, for the French Ministry of Ecology, and also for industrial companies. And the aim, the objective of my institute is really to develop methodologies and expertise on health and environmental risk, especially those risks that are due to chemical pollutant release, so air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution.
The previous system was implemented in 2003 upon an initiative by the Ministry of Ecology, Sustainable Development and Spatial Planning, with the aim of generating and publishing daily air quality forecasts and maps resulting from numerical simulations on different spatial scales. The system also supplies observation maps based on measurements carried out on site. Prevair provides forecasts and maps of ozone, nitrogen oxides, and particles, pollutants that are regulated in accordance with the impact on health and environment. Forecast maps that represent average concentration and maximum daily figures of each of the pollutants are drawn up every morning the same day, the following day, the day after that, on different spatial scales. Analyze ozone maps. Ozone simulation in Europe and France are subsequently readjusted in accordance with observation data available from bodies responsible for air quality monitoring. Therefore, a map is published every day in the late afternoon, derived from a simulation and corrected with the ozone level observed in the late morning. This map then updated once again in the end afternoon, easily morphing the event of pollution incident in order to include the maximum number of observations and first improve the reliability of the cartographic representation.
This time, I know that you deliver the speech at the conference about some model, some technology in France to control the air quality. So can you show more about its operation and how to apply in Vietnam?
Yes, we've developed a model dedicated to air quality forecasting, and this model is based on what we call the chemistry transport model that we developed with the National Research Center, which is called CHIMER. And this model now is really used for operational purposes to help decision makers at the ministry, local authorities, to take the right decisions in terms of emission reduction strategies. So this system, this forecasting system, Prevair, is a national forecasting system, but is used as well at the European scale. It's a part of what we call the European Environmental Monitoring System. This is the GMES initiative. And Prevair is a part of this European framework for the air quality part. That means that finally the experience of the French teams has been acknowledged by the whole of Europe, and now our system, our infrastructure to assess air pollution is used at the European scale.
Yes, France is very well-known country with a lot of modern technology in preventing and reducing to the minimum the risks in the environment and control the air quality. And I think Vietnam really want to learn more experience from France to Vietnam. To use this system in Vietnamese condition, what are the needed things or the things that Vietnam have to pay attention to improve it or to apply it in Vietnam?
To apply such model, in fact, to apply such model in other countries and in different countries like Vietnam, of course, you cannot compare because Vietnam has different meteorology, different emission. Before applying those models, you have to assess, to review the input data, so meteorological issues, emission inventory, description of the cities, description of populated versus rural areas. Vietnam has to review all these topics that will feed finally the models. And the models maybe will have to be adapted to some specificity.
Traffic in Hanoi, for instance, smoke from the motorbikes, cars, other vehicles have bad effects on people's health and air pollution, a question the role of the citizen.
You also mentioned about the risks of using chemical in environment. So could you explain more about this risk?
I've heard during the presentation and discussing with the director of the environment that there are several sources that are identified in Vietnam. Traffic, of course, we already talked about this, but also industrial sources and also the use of coal in cooking and for this is a way of life.
And what should Vietnam do to control and reduce to the minimum the risk in chemical to environment?
Will be responsible for release of air pollutants and also for release of water pollutants maybe. So I think that the sources are well identified. So now they are identified, now you can try to think about the way to control those sources and to reduce those emissions. You will have to change some practices, and this is why population needs to be informed just to realize that they have to change their way of life. Also, you have to be very stringent with industry and traffic control. That's very important to keep an eye on those important sources.
You mentioned lots about the advice, suggestion for Vietnamese people to do to pay attention and control the air pollutant and water pollutant. So if you are asked to give the 3 most important advice for Vietnamese people, what can you say?
One would be keep on developing control of sources, of industry, of traffic, and that's very important to keep this view. Controls are very necessary. If I take the example of Europe, finally, I think that the situation in Europe wouldn't have improved if control, regulation and law had not been decided. That's very important. That's the key issue. Improve information. I understand from this morning that there is really a loss in information, and I've heard that medias are ready to participate to the dissemination of the information. That's very important. In France, for instance, in case of pollution episode, we send the maps of air pollution and our forecast to medias, to TV, so that the information is disseminated widely. So that would be my second recommendation, to also raise awareness of general publics. That's very important. And also, the first thing I would say is think about those new tools, modeling and integrated system that will help in assessing water, air pollution, soil pollution in a global way, using model and observation. That should be developed. It will take time and a lot of studies, but I think that's the right way to proceed.
This time coming here, besides introducing the model of France to Vietnam, do you intend to cooperate with the Vietnamese partner to improve and apply this model to Vietnam?
Yes. I hope that we'll manage to develop such cooperation, and in particular with AIA Technology. We co-organized this meeting with Vietnamese partners and AIA Technology and INERIS, thinking about such cooperation.
So this question has wrapped up our show for today. Thank you once again, Lawrence.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Really, it's a pleasure.
And that concludes our show for today. Thank you for watching Sharing Vietnam from NETVIET VTC10. I'm Phương Liên. If you have any comments, please send to sharingvietnam@gmail.com. Leave for today. See you tomorrow.
Thưa quý vị và các bạn, khi đầu tư vào Việt Nam, các doanh nghiệp FDI không chỉ mang theo vốn, kinh nghiệm quản lý mà còn cả công nghệ. Và thực tế đã cho thấy, nhờ có công nghệ mới mà ngành thép Việt Nam mới có được bước phát triển vượt bậc với ngày càng nhiều sản phẩm đạt tiêu chuẩn quốc tế. Doanh nghiệp FDI và câu chuyện đầu tư công nghệ ngành thép Việt Nam sẽ được đề cập đến trong tiểu mục Hội nhập và Phát triển bền vững.